Welcome back to YCN News, everyone. This is the YCN 2015 Year in Review, where we're looking back at the biggest stories of 2015. Now we'll continue with our look back by revisiting our biggest story since the creation of our new website in late summer, which marked over 1,500 website hits within 48 hours. The story being the Cornish Fair accident that occurred in August, where multiple people were injured after falling off the popular fair ride, the Zipper. Now this broadcast is from August 24th. Well, it was a scary scene at the 66th annual Cornish Fair Friday night. A ride malfunction landed 3 people in the hospital with injuries. Windsor EMS responded to the fairground shortly after 9 p.m. Friday night to find 2 females and a male fair employee injured near a popular ride called the Zipper. The New Hampshire State Fire Marshal said a 28-year-old and an 8-year-old female received minor injuries when they fell from the Zipper shortly after loading. A 23-year-old ride operator was injured trying to catch the victims. Now, the Zipper, which is operated by the Finelli Amusement Company out of New Ipswich, New Hampshire, spins riders vertically in a cage on a large chain. The ride remained closed for the duration of the 3-day fair, and all 3 victims have been released from Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center in nearby Lebanon. Our next big story of 2015 brings us to White River Junction, Vermont, and on a bit of a lighter note. On July 2nd, Governor Maggie Hassan visited the area to facilitate the ribbon cutting of the new Veterans Affairs office building, which was timed a few days before July 4th celebrations. This news broadcast originally aired on July 3rd. Yesterday, Governor Maggie Hassan was in White River Junction, Vermont to dedicate the new Veterans Center there that has opened. YCN attended the ribbon cutting event and brings you these words from Hassan speaking at the dedication.
As we celebrate our great nation's Independence Day this weekend, we will do so with the firm acknowledgement that you have all made it possible. You have all made it possible for us to enjoy the freedoms and the values that we hold dear. And at the same time, we will be recommitting ourselves to supporting you in whatever way you need and in whatever way we can. We owe you our freedom, a debt that we can never fully repay, but this Vet Center is one way that we can ensure that we offer our full support every day. And the example you set for your fellow citizens is unbelievably important. So I thank you for that. I'm honored to be here with all of you for today's ribbon cutting and to celebrate Independence Day with our nation's heroes.
Next up, another one of our top stories focuses on the debated expansion of Mount Sunapee Resort into the mountain's West Bowl. The expansion would allow more ski runs and terrain on that part of the mountain, but members of the public were largely opposed to the expansion, and an ongoing debate even reached the state level. YCN News brought you multiple pieces on this development dating from February to June, but we'll take a look at one particular piece from April 16th.
A decision is in regarding Mount Sunapee Resort's proposed West Bowl ski expansion. It can happen in exchange for the resort swapping 260 acres of resort land for a state park. Now, there's no provision for any private housing development via the expansion, and the state's extended by 10 years the lease held by the resort's current operators. It was a full house inside Veterans Hall in Newbury this morning, with proponents and opponents of the West Bowl gathered inside. Sitting along Commissioner of the state's Department of Economic Resources, Jeffrey Rose, were members of the Mount Sunapee Advisory Committee. Speaking after this morning's 45-minute meeting, Commissioner Rose explained what New Hampshire residents can take away from this decision.
I believe we brought forward a very thoughtful and very deliberate response to the MDP that was submitted by the Mount Sunapee Resort. I feel very confident that this will help improve the overall skier experience at the mountain. I think it'll also help add additional protections to the ecologically sensitive areas and the exemplary natural community that we have within this greater region. And I also think it does it in a way that will provide additional stimulus through our travel and tourism sectors and provide economic opportunity not only to the greater Sunapee region but to the overall state.
And our final news story of our YCN 2015 Year in Review will head to Lebanon, New Hampshire for a story that sparked a discussion all across our region in its wake. The story of Lebanon's Kilton Library hosting a tour relay and the Department of Homeland Security warning them about it made national headlines. Let's revisit this story that aired on September 9th. Well, we start tonight on the issue of online privacy, which was brought into the spotlight recently at the Kilton Public Library in Lebanon, New Hampshire. The library, which is part of the Lebanon Public Library system, had a server known as Tor installed about a month ago. The Tor system is a global network that allows users to surf the web anonymously. The Department of Homeland Security caught wind of Kilton's Tor relay through an article published online. The department is concerned that people could use the library's computers with criminal or terrorist intent. Today, YCN News went to the library and spoke with Sean Fleming, who is the library director of the Lebanon Public Libraries. He explains what the Tor network is, if anyone could walk in the door and use it, and the library's reaction to the Department of Homeland Defense's concern.
The Tor network is it's an international network of servers, and so these servers serve to protect people's anonymity. And the way they do that is, so if somebody is originating an email or if they're looking at something online anywhere in the world, what that then does, the Tor network does, is it bounces that traffic from server to server, and all that people can see is the last server that was utilized in that network. So if somebody's a dissident in Iran or if in China, or if it's somebody who is escaping domestic violence in the U.S., maybe in Lebanon, maybe anywhere else in the country, a reporter who's trying to remain safe in a country where it's dangerous for reporters, they're able to use this network and then remain safe in what they're doing, so people can't track them as easily.
Well, after the break on our YCN 2015 Year in Review, we'll toss it to sports reporter Mike Pizzone, who will talk us through the biggest sports stories of the year. There are more than a few that you won't want to miss. We'll be right back with those.
The YCN News continues in a moment.